Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, featuring Bucks County nonprofit leaders. Join our discussion with community organizations that share our mission and are making a difference in the lives of our neighbors.
Hello, I'm Ron Bernstein, the Executive Director of Foundations Community Partnership. Welcome to FCP Conversations Online, and thank you for joining us. Our guest today is Florence Kawoczka, the Executive Director of Habitat for Humanity here in Bucks County. Florence, welcome, and thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Well, let's get started with learning a little bit about the history of Habitat for Humanity here in Bucks County.
So Habitat's been serving Bucks County since 1990. We've built 103 homes and repaired close to 40, helping families become sustainable, successful homeowners or remain in their homes.
Wow. Did it evolve out of a church here in Bucks County, or how did it get its footing?
Yes, it got started with just a bunch of volunteers, the majority of whom were from Doylestown Presbyterian Church.
So I know that there's about 1,400 affiliates nationwide.
Right.
And you guys also are international.
Right.
But here in Bucks County, what do you consider to be your signature programs?
So we are an independent affiliate of Habitat International, as you mentioned. We do both home ownership and repair. So we've been building homes since 1990, and then back in 2011, we became aware of an unmet need in the county that current homeowners, low to moderate income homeowners, that for some reason or another couldn't afford to make necessary repairs to remain in their home. Needed some help. And so we started A Brush with Kindness, which is our repair program.
Well, how do people learn about Habitat? How do they qualify for home ownership? Walk us through some of the steps, and then the same thing with Brush for Kindness.
With our homeownership program, families find out about us through a lot of our partner agencies. We partner with other social service agencies, a lot of civic groups, churches, other churches throughout the area, even our county government, make people aware of the fact that Habitat is in the county. And so when a family finds out about us, they contact us and we talk to them about the qualifications that are needed. Sometimes misunderstanding is that Habitat is a giveaway program, and it's not. We're helping families with a hand up, not a handout. And so our families work hard and they do have to qualify. Same thing with our repair program. We ask our homeowners in the repair program to pay back on a sliding scale. Some of our families are paying a couple dollars a month.
Well, when you say qualify, walk us through some of those qualifications.
So with our home ownership program, for instance, when we locate a property that we can build on, we decide what we're going to build, and then normally we'll have what we call a day of interest, where we'll invite families to come out and learn about Habitat, learn about the home that's there, and then find out exactly what it takes to be a homeowner. And right at that time, we will run credit history. A lot of families come to that day of interest, not realizing that they have bad credit. And so many times then, at that point, we're referring them to other agencies or other things that they could do to fix their credit. And then the families that are in pretty good shape that could go forward to become homeowners, we team them up with members of our family selection committee who act as advocates and mentors for them and help them through the financial, gathering all their income data, and also meet with them in their home to make sure there is a need. A need in Bucks County many times means a family is living in very substandard conditions, maybe cramped into a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment, many times, though, paying just way too much of their income on rent.
So how does Habitat identify the properties?
Different ways. We have some realtors that help us out, that are on committees that'll recommend properties to us. We're also part of a program called NCST, which is a foreclosure program, a nationwide foreclosure program. So we're alerted to available properties. We just joined that program last year, and we've already bought at least 8 properties through that.
Well, so in those cases, does that mean Habitat goes in to refurbish as opposed to build from scratch?
That's right. So we've had quite an experience with the 103 homes we've built so far. A lot of those were single-family homes, townhomes, and several were rehabs where we either had to go in and maybe spend a couple of months or sometimes knock down a house and rebuild it.
Give us a feel for where your homes are. Are you throughout the county from the northern end to the southern end in central Bucks?
So with our home building program, it's very much north and south. We built quite a few townhomes up in the northern part of the county in Trumbowersville, Sellersville, and then in the southern part of the county in Bristol, Morrisville, those towns. The beauty of A Brush with Kindness is that we have done repairs throughout the county. We've done some in Doylestown and Newtown because even families that once were able to afford perhaps a more expensive home in those towns have now fallen into a circumstance where they can't afford the repair.
Now, I know that periodically, not every neighborhood is thrilled to have Habitat come in initially. Can you tell us a little bit about how some of the hurdles you have to jump over?
Well, actually, we're thrilled that we are running into that less and less, and I think that's because we're doing a better job in getting the word out and having people see the quality homes we're building. We build professionally designed, professionally built homes that are green, so we're saving families a lot of money. And so what we're finding more now is that as our construction team is building or repairing, neighbors are coming over and saying, hey, how can I do that? Or would you stop by and help me out? And actually just that in Morrisville, we're building a home, our third home in Morrisville, and a neighbor just walked down to our construction director a couple weeks ago and said, do you realize there's 4 lots up the block for sale? I live right next to them. How about you guys buying them? And so we're working on buying those 4 lots.
Well, that's great. That's nice to hear. Because we've been fortunate enough to place some interns with you guys in the past, every summer we always hear our interns describing what they call sweat equity. Can you tell us what that means in your world?
Sure. So every family, say in our homeownership program, before they can become a homeowner, they have to put in somewhere between 100 and 200 hours of sweat equity, which is another way of saying they have to volunteer, hopefully on their own home so that it's just a plus that they get to learn what's behind the walls when they buy the house, or they work on someone else's home or even in the store. The idea behind it, it's just another way to make sure our families understand the gift that they're being given, that's being supported by donors out in the community, and making sure they understand, ultimately all that goes into the responsibility of being a homeowner.
I agree. I think that's really important. It's a great concept. Florence, I want to make sure I ask you about one of your new programs called the Almost Home Program. Can you tell us what that's about?
Sure. So as we were mentioning before, we have sold 103 homes in our history. And so those are 103 new homeowners, successful homeowners. But for those homes, we also know that we had to say no to many more families that weren't ready to become homeowners because of their financial situation. And so we have, what we have done in the past is provide appropriate referrals to them. But we started a program with more structure so that our prospective applicants can get credit counseling from our partner Clarify, as well as go to Home Buyer Readiness Program with Bucks County Housing Group. And we have structured a 6-month boot camp for these families to get them ready to be home buyers with Habitat or maybe on their own.
A lot of people know about the Restores, but for those who don't, give us the update on the Restores.
So the Restores they're a thrift store that sells home furnishings, appliances, construction materials. Our first store is in Chalfont. We opened that in 2008. And we just celebrated the 1-year anniversary of our Langhorne store, which is down in the Langhorne Shopping Center by Marshall's. So the Restores, we take donations of gently used furniture and housewares from individuals, but we also get a lot of new things. We have relationships with a lot of local manufacturers or retailers that they'll give us their overstock or maybe something scratch and dent. And so it's a great opportunity for anyone of any income level to find some treasures. And we do have a lot of designers that like to shop our store and redo things. And of course, the income from the stores is a source of sustainable funding for us.
And at both of your stores, you use some students and some disadvantaged kids come in and do some work. Can you explain that to us?
So we have quite a few schools, especially the community service clubs, that like to have their teens come out and work in the store. So the teens can come out and help with, stocking the shelves, cleaning, dusting the shelves, unloading the furniture, and putting it out on display. And then we have several organizations in the county that are serving people with special needs. And we have partnered with them. We allow them to come in and get some job skill training. They come in, many of them come in with their coach and spend a couple of hours. It helps us and it helps them feel more comfortable and gives them a purpose.
That's wonderful, Florence. I want to make sure we get a chance to touch on donations and fundraising, because that's an important part for every nonprofit. How do people find out about how to donate or how to volunteer or how to participate?
Yep. So we have a great website, habitatbucks.org. It's actually a new website. Check it out. And on there, you can find out about volunteering. You can actually even schedule yourself. And you can also go to the Restore page if you would like to schedule a pickup. We do free pickup throughout the county of items for the store. We welcome, of course, the generous donations of everyone in the county. Lots of teams like to get together and maybe get out on the build site. Local companies will do a team build day and donate a certain amount of money and then get out and get dirty on the build site or come and help in the store.
Great stuff going on in Habitat. Hey, I got to ask you this question because I'm always driving around Bucks County looking for a great place to stop for lunch. You have any recommendations for me?
I love Dominique Star in Doylestown on State Street.
Oh, well, that's great. Florence, thank you for the great work you guys do here in Bucks County, for joining me today to share your experience and knowledge leading Habitat for Humanity. And thank you to our listeners for your involvement in our community. Visit our Facebook page and like us, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and join the conversation.
Foundation's community partnership believes that when we join forces, we're stronger. We are better able to support the behavioral health and human service needs of children and young adults in Bucks County. Join us again for FCP Conversations Online. Let's go farther together.